Ladies and gentlemen, the NCAA Honors Celebration will begin in 5 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, the NCAA Honor Celebration is about to begin. Please take your seats, and as a courtesy to our honorees, please silence all electronic devices. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our Master of Ceremonies for the evening, Andy Katz.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the 2022 NCAA Honors Celebration. I'm Andy Katz, and it is my pleasure to be your host for this event. Each year, the NCAA honors its best and brightest during this honors celebration. And I will say this, that a year ago, we had to do this virtually. So I'm thrilled, even though we are in the middle of, hopefully toward the end of another surge, and we're masked and distanced, that we're on the tail end, and it's just thrilling the fact that we actually can be here in person. And it struck me earlier this afternoon when we were taping our social series that we started at the beginning of this pandemic with our first honoree that I'll get to momentarily, Bob Graham. How much and how often college athletics is the agent of change in this country, in cities and counties and states across the country. And we've seen it for decades. And on this night, we are really honoring individuals from basically an entire change era that we're still involved in, and that many of you here in person and certainly virtually are helping conduct change. And this is a convention where there is change, and we're hearing from student athletes. They've been empowered in a positive way. They're speaking out. We've got representatives here to my left that I've been so impressed with today's generation that are having a voice, that are passionate about it. As we know, to be a college athlete, something I always wanted to be was not good enough, is a privilege. It is not a right. And certainly everyone that has passed through institutions at all levels, at Division I, II, III, has cherished that and has used that opportunity, as we have seen with these individuals, to not just better themselves and their community, but each other. And so tonight, for those that are in this room, those that are watching, we really need to celebrate all that is positive and good about being an NCAA student athlete, administrator, coach, conference commissioner. So when the NCAA sometimes obviously can be criticized and polarized, pause and stop that all of you are part of the NCAA and what makes the NCAA, I think, the ultimate change agent in this country, because it starts with college athletes and then progresses. So today, our top 10 honorees are recent graduates who excelled in academics, athletics, community service, and leadership. The silver anniversary honorees finished their athletics eligibility 25 years ago, but it didn't end there. They continued to make lasting impacts in their careers and in their communities. And we'll hear from them with a video, and we'll see them on this stage. The inspiration honorees are recognized for their remarkable determination in overcoming life-changing obstacles. And our event will culminate with the presentation of the NCAA's highest award, Theodore Roosevelt Award. Now, each year, the Honors Celebration honorees are selected by the NCAA Honors Committee, which is composed of representatives of NCAA member schools and conferences and past award recipients. Because the NCAA is all of you. It's not someone behind a curtain. It's all of you. And with so many worthy nominees, selecting the honorees, of course, is no easy task. So we want to thank all the NCAA members and past honorees who serve on the Honors Committee. Your hard work and commitment to honoring these award recipients is deeply appreciated. And while the COVID-19 pandemic makes this year's honors celebration unique in many ways, at least we're here, we are eager to recognize and celebrate these outstanding honorees tonight. Our first award, as I hinted earlier, is our Inspiration Award. This award is reserved for incredible people who, when confronted with a life-changing event, displayed determination, perseverance, and courage, and serve as role models to others. I had the pleasure to meet our Inspiration Award recipient earlier this afternoon. His name, Bob Grant.
Athletically, I always competed well. And I don't say this arrogantly, because with my high school coach and my grandfather, the charge that they gave me when I went to Wake Forest is, you must always be the best player on the field. I was always the best player on the field. Not so much because of talent, but because I knew that I represented something that was larger than myself. I am Robert Grant. I attended Wake Forest University when we integrated college sport back in 1964. Coming out of high school, I had about 40 different offers. I had planned to go attend Michigan State. Everyone in the country knew that they would be winning a national championship, so that was my choice. And my high school coach called me into his office. He held the picture up and he said, "Do you know who this white man is?" I told him, "Well, no, I don't even know a lot of white people." He said, "This is Coach Bill Tate, and up at Wake Forest University, they're getting ready to integrate major college sport in the South." I was thinking to myself, well, Coach, what are you telling me this for? I'm going to Michigan State. And he said, "This is where we're going." So that was it. You know, I didn't have a choice. I would never argue back with my coach. At that time in 1964, if we said hello to many of the people on campus, they didn't really want to be seen associating with the black players. So what we had was we had each other. I went there determined to do what my grandfather told me to do. He says, you go up there and you turn in a championship performance in everything that you do. And don't worry about what other people think. And he was right. It took 4 years for us to bring that around. And while it was never really perfect at that time, there's still work to be done in our society. But sports has a way of opening doors, which it still does today. And you look in the stands today and there's a rainbow of color. You look on the field and there's a rainbow of color there. So we have made tremendous progress, the retired players. But we try to use the money that we make to make life better, not just for retired football players, but for other people in our society who are in need too. My boyhood dream was to become a professional football player. It's about finding something that you have a passion for, that you're willing to put in the work for, and it doesn't happen in one day. It takes a lifetime commitment. We can do much more than we believe that we can. If you want to excel, commit to giving better than your best in whatever it is that you're doing. Sports has always been an impetus for change, and I was a person who was committed to contributing to making change and bringing about change in this country.
Please join me in welcoming from Wake Forest, Kevin Smith, Regional Director of Development, and a man that defines courage, that went in 1964 and helped integrate the South in college football at Wake Forest, Bob Grant. Bob, as you so eloquently said in that video, you were a trailblazer for change in the 60s, continued to be someone who advocated for change. For those in this generation, what's your advice for them to continue what you started and others like you?
Well, I believe that we have to, first of all, believe in each other. So I would say, greeting to all of you Americans. We live in the greatest country on earth. Not very many people are out at the airports leaving here to go someplace else. We don't have a perfect country, but there is no such thing as perfection in this universe except our Almighty Creator. But our job here is to do the very best that we can and work toward perfection. Fortunately, we have team sports, and team sports is the single activity that erases color in people's vision on Friday nights at high school games, on Saturdays at college football games. I'm just going to pick one team. When Patrick Mahomes, the quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs, scores a touchdown, we can have a banker here, and we can have someone over here sitting beside him that works at the local feed store. They're both up on their feet, screaming and doing, what do they call that thing now, the high five or one of those things that you're there. Only sports can do that. And sports teaches us to work together.
Thank you, Bob. Again, Bob Grant. Hard to top that. We've got tremendous honorees this evening. So we're going to turn next to today's top 10 honorees, representing all three NCAA divisions. They've distinguished themselves through their accomplishments in academics, athletics, community service, and leadership. Let's learn more about today's top 10 honorees.
My coaches always believed in me, even when maybe I didn't believe in myself. Overcoming that was very important to get to where I'm at today. If you're willing to give 100% to something, that's when the magic happens. That's when you're really rewarded. I love what I'm doing in school, and I love track and field, and I love that they're able to complement each other, and I'm able to be successful in both areas.
Professionally now, I play lacrosse in the Premier Lacrosse League for the Atlas Lacrosse Club. For me, lacrosse was my first love, and it was something that I enjoyed doing every day, and that makes the work very easy. I always thought that I performed best in the classroom when I was the busiest outside of the classroom. What you do as a student athlete, the time you put in, the effort you put in, all those long nights studying or long days working out, they prepare you for whatever life's going to throw at you in the future.
I knew since the beginning that going to college was the best option for me in order to develop personally and also from a tennis standpoint. I made a decision to, invest in all possible ways and trust the system, trust the program, trust the process, trust the coaches, trust everybody around me. And that's how I started to be successful. I started to evolve positively in many ways, and I started to see change. I became the winningest athlete in UM in terms of singles victories.
I found a new strength in myself I didn't know that I had when I was pushed to my brink, when I had no choice but to perform at my highest level. That is what can get me through any obstacles that I face in life. When we finally got to the championship, I was able to edge out opponents and help our team to a victory. But then my coaches looked at me and said, okay, Stephanie, you still have a job to do. You are a senior and you need to go be fierce and win that individual title.
My experience as an athlete was one of the most formative parts of my college experience, and I largely attribute it to my success. There's always something that we can do for the benefit of others, and I really believe in this idea of being a conduit of blessings, gifts, resources. So anything that I've received, I believe that's not just supposed to end with me and benefit me, but to pay that forward.
I got involved with NAMI, underwent the training to become an Ending the Silence presenter. We would go into schools and just talk to students about mental health challenges. I have learned so much about being a leader, not only from my academic and community service in Sioux Falls, but also from being a teammate and being a part of Augustina softball. And I know it will continue to lay the foundation for a lot of growth in my future as a physician.
Being a captain during COVID, when you had so much uncertainty, and it wasn't anymore just about being a leader on the court, but it's a leader in how you carry yourself outside of basketball and the community when there's a pandemic going on. One of the awards I'm most proud of academically is my Business Student of the Year at Wesleyan, my senior year at graduation.
When I think of Columbia, I think of all my coaches, all my teammates, and all the athletic department that has helped me grow into the person that I am today. And to get recognized by the NCAA is something that I'm extremely proud of. One of my most unforgettable experiences being part of the Team Canada, and to have the opportunity to represent my country. It didn't take any hesitation for me to tell them yes on the spot.
Looking back, winning that national championship and being on that team was one of the best moments. It's a great feeling, just suiting up with some of my best friends and going out there and representing the state of Alabama. I don't know if there's anything better than that. I don't really change on and off the field. It's not like a switch or anything like that. I try and just be myself and wake up every day and be the best person I can be.
When we won the team title in 2021, it was amazing. And to know that I was part of that and I was with that group of women, it felt really good to win that title. It felt really good. Over the course of my time at USC, I learned a lot more about being a leader. I achieved my dreams. I learned how to do the work. I learned how to overcome very difficult times and become a better person on the other side of it. So I think that's the value of college sports, is really teaching you about yourself and how to evolve into the next better, brighter version of you.
One of the great things that we've had on our NCAA social series is talking to some of these student athletes that you saw on the video and getting to know them and hearing their stories, because there's so many of them out there at all three divisions in every sport. So it's my honor now to please first welcome from Southern California, Executive Senior Associate Athletics Director and Senior Woman Administrator Joyce Bell Limbrick, with USC indoor and outdoor track and field competitor and communication major Anna Cockrow. From Augustana University, President Stephanie Hurst-Sandlin, and Augustana softball player with majors in biology, psychology, and neuroscience, Kendall Cornick. Sure there wasn't another major in there? From Notre Dame, head fencing coach Gia Kvartskala, and Notre Dame fencer with majors in pre-professional studies and theology, Stephanie Deschner. From Saginaw Valley State, head track and field and cross-country coach Rod Cowan, and Saginaw Valley State indoor and outdoor track and field competitor and rehabilitation medicine major, Lauren Hebner. You saw him in the video. You saw him last week with the Patriots. Unable to join us this evening is Alabama football player and communication studies major, Mac Jones. Accepting the award on his behalf is Alabama Director of Athletics, Greg Byrne. Next, from WashU, please welcome Associate Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs and Director of Athletics, Anthony Asman. And WashU indoor and outdoor track and field competitor with majors in anthropology, global health, and the environment and biology, Eka Joseph. From Columbia, Deputy Athletics Director and Senior Woman Administrator, Jacqueline Blaquette, with Columbia tennis player and psychology major, Jack Ming Jilin. From Denver, head men's lacrosse coach Bill Tierney, and Denver lacrosse player with majors in finance and international business, Danny Logan. from Miami, please welcome Deputy Director of Athletics, Chief Operating Officer, and Senior Woman Administrator, Jennifer Strawley, and Miami tennis player and economics major, Estela Somariba. Estela Perez Somariba, excuse me. And from Illinois Wesleyan, Director of Athletics, Mike Wagner, and Illinois Wesleyan basketball player and marketing major, Kendall Sosa. Round of applause to our top 10 honorees. Well, it's clear with those majors and those accomplishments, we're going to be hearing from a number of you in the future. Congratulations again. And of course, to learn more about today's top 10 honorees, you can view additional videos featuring their stories at ncaa.org. Our next honoree is the recipient of the 2022 Inspiration Award. Let's hear from Steve Gleason.
I've learned that sharing weakness with teammates ultimately makes a stronger squad. I learned that being fully prepared can open your eyes to opportunities.
Steve Gleason did not enter professional sports with the fanfare every kid dreams of. But that didn't stop him from giving his all on the field and being ready when opportunity arose.
My rookie year, I signed with the Indianapolis Colts as a lowly free agent. After I got cut from the Colts, the Saints signed me to their practice squad. As luck would have it, after 2 weeks on the Saints practice squad, 2 guys on the Saints got hurt. I would be playing special teams the next Sunday.
In 2006, Steve and the world watched helplessly as tragedy befell the entire city. The city was battered like never before. New Orleans needed a win, and badly. That win would come when the Saints returned to the field for their first home game after the hurricane. To this day, the block is considered one of the greatest plays in football history.
The significance of the block, even in the moments immediately after the play, was not lost on me. The people of New Orleans had spent the previous 12 months being devastated and frustrated and angry. This was their chance to release all those emotions and to let the world know the city of New Orleans was back.
5 years to the day after the block made him a folk hero, Steve Gleason announced to the world that there was a new path ahead of him.
When I was diagnosed with ALS, I was terrified of the unknown path ahead. I found that, with the right equipment and technology, and a great support team, people can live for years, even decades. By implementing those elements in my life, I have been able to find a way to continue a productive and powerful life. Our mission at Team Gleason is to provide those same resources and help others live triumphant and flourishing lives. We helped establish a research effort that is now the single largest ALS research project in history, called Answer ALS. We believe we will help find solutions to ALS in our lifetime.
The impact of Team Gleason has not gone unnoticed, and Team Gleason has made its voice heard.
In 2014, sweeping changes were made at Medicare. People who wished to live productively were denied access to the one tool that could liberate them. People in hospice, who had their tablets seized, so their words to their loved ones were mere silence. In a Washington Post op-ed, I called it a human rights violation. So, we were forced to make some noise. A lot of noise. With help of leaders in Congress and the extraordinary ALS community of patients and caregivers, we were able to pass the Steve Gleason Act. 3 years later, we did it all over again and passed the Enduring Voices Act that made access to communication devices permanent.
For the efforts of Team Gleason, Steve was awarded the Congressional Gold Medal, the highest civilian honor bestowed by Congress.
I was humbled to accept the award for all the families who have been diagnosed with ALS, as well as anyone struggling to overcome life's inevitable adversities. I believe life is much bigger than any sport, but this formula for sports is perfectly applicable for living a good, fulfilling life. There will be chaos. The weather might be unpredictable. The ball will bounce the wrong way, and the refs will blow a call. These are the moments to support and encourage each other. I'm here to help heal and alleviate discontent and suffering. That is why I do what I do, and why I get up every day.
To accept the Inspiration Award on Steve Gleason's behalf, please welcome Washington State Director of Athletics, Patrick Chun. I don't know if Steve is watching, but I say we stand up and give him a round of applause for his inspiration. Continues to amaze us all. Thank you, Patrick. Our next award is the Silver Anniversary Award, which is presented to former college athletes on the 25th anniversary of the end of their college athletics eligibility, making a lot of us feel very old here. This year's Silver Anniversary class is made up of stellar college athletes who are achieving great success in their chosen professions long after their playing careers and making significant impact on others. Let's hear from our 2022 Silver honorees.
I was recruited by the Air Force Academy and was very impressed by the school itself and its emphasis on academics, athletics, as well as character development, leadership development. For me personally, athletics and academics were closely entwined. Coming down after a hard day in the classroom and in our squadrons and being able to work hard and focus in the pool. That hard work and dedication and the ability to set goals, winning our first national championships as a team, it was an amazing feeling.
I wanted to play running back. Every college team recruited me to play defensive back, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to make people miss. I didn't want to hit anybody. So I made a deal with Coach Bowden. I said, Coach, I'll commit to you guys. I'll come to Tallahassee, Florida State, if you allow me to play running back. And if it doesn't work out, I'll move to defensive back. I just want my shot and my opportunity. And he told me, deal. That was, for me, the perfect environment. I love to compete. I just think that just helped elevate myself, my game, and I guess now we can all say the rest is history.
I was a walk-on to the swim team at UC Santa Cruz when I won the national championship in the 200 individual medley. I had taken second place on a number of occasions and beginning to wonder if I was ever going to be able to win it. Being the first person to win the national championship in swimming in the school's history is a big deal. I worked very hard for that moment.
You know, I played 2 sports, one in the winter season and one in the spring season. And I would say my fall season was probably my worst academically, if you will, because I didn't have to stay super, super focused. It definitely made me more disciplined, both academically and athletically. They kind of helped each other and fed off each other. The 98 Olympic team was the first time women's hockey was in the Olympics. You know, when you're standing there and the gold medal's being put around your neck, you just think about the women that had come before that weren't able to play in the Olympics because they didn't have it. I watch the Olympics on TV now, and still I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. And, and you kind of forget that you were there too.
We play a sport that is founded, you know, on being a team. I went in as a freshman at USC with Lisa Leslie on my team. Although we started together in every game, we were very competitive with each other. We actually competed against each other in practice every single day. Every opportunity that we could actually guard one another and play against, you know, each other, we did that to make ourselves better. So showing up and being the best version of yourself is just a very small way of adding something really big to your team.
It's not even anything about the games. It's got very little to do with the games, very little to do with the championships. It's more about the time we spent together, the experiences we had together, the growth we had as young men. Just coming here kind of a bunch of misfits and kind of becoming a team and becoming kind of a family. I've always gone through my career having that kind of in my bag.
For the past 4.5 years, I've been department head for physical education at the Air Force Academy. It's just tremendous to be back and support my alma mater and use physical education in our physical mission to develop cadets to become leaders of character, ready to serve our country.
Upon graduating, I worked as a beach lifeguard. Our lifeguard agency fell under the City of Coronado Fire Department. So I started taking classes to become a paramedic, and I really enjoyed what I was learning and realized, you know, I could be doing this at a higher level. I saved money to take MCAT. I did really well on that test and felt like I won the lottery when I was accepted to the Uniformed Services University.
I am currently the head coach at Boston College for the women's ice hockey team. I always kind of wanted to give back to the sport, right? Like, sports is my life. I've done so much and been able to do so much through my life with sports, and to be able to give that opportunity to, or help give that opportunity to someone else. You want people to get an education and be able to play their sport that they love through their 4 years of college, and the NCAA provides that.
It's very important in being a part of a team when you have the ability to, you know, help your teammate along, to give them advice, to pick them up. It goes such a long way. My experience at USC is what put me in a position to be able to accomplish all the things that I've accomplished up until this date. You know, my championships with the Houston Comets allowed me to be a candidate to be on the U.S. national team, which then, you know, led to Olympic gold medals. So, you know, they all kind of lead to one another.
What Coach O did for me still amazes me. To basically risk a whole lot on me on basically nothing. He saw something in me. He felt if given the opportunity, I could be someone. It was a great start.
You know, being challenged when I became a Buccaneer by Coach Dunges, like, do you want to get involved and give back to the community? I was trying to figure out, like, what can I do to help people? Host of Holidays was born because of my mom's dream of home ownership and never being able to realize that dream. We assist single-parent families who are becoming first-time homeowners, and that's giving them $5,000 down payment assistance. Also fully furnishing their homes with food, furniture, linens, garden tools, TVs, computers, all the way down to the toothbrush. We've been able to really assist 198 single-parent families so far, and we're getting to 200, and we're going to keep pushing.
Unable to join us this evening are Tim Duncan, Katie King-Crowley, and Tina Thompson. But accepting the award on behalf of Tim Duncan from Wake Forest is the Regional Director of Development, Kevin Smith. Accepting the award on behalf of Katie King Crowley from Brown, Vice President for Athletics and Recreation, M. Grace Calhoun. Accepting the award on behalf of Tina Thompson from Southern California, Executive Senior Associate Athletic Director and Senior Woman Administrator, Joyce Bell Limbrick. And now, please welcome from Air Force, the Director of Athletics at the Academy, Nathan Pine, and Colonel Maya Anderson. From Florida State, Vice President, Director of Athletics, Michael Alford, and Warwick Dunn. And from UC Santa Cruz, best nickname in college athletics, the Banana Slugs, Susan Harriman, Director of Athletics and Recreation, and Commander Matthew Humphreys. Congratulations again to all our Silver Anniversary honorees. And as always, you can learn more about them by visiting NCAA.org. Thank you. As you can see, the students over there, see what you got to look forward to 25 years from now. A lot of great work ahead. Tremendous. Now we've come to our final 2022 award, the Theodore Roosevelt Award. For the presentation, please welcome Steve Shirley, President of Minot State and the Vice Chair of NCAA Board of Governors.
The Teddy Award is the highest honor the NCAA may confer on an individual. Named after President Theodore Roosevelt, whose concern for the conduct of intercollegiate athletics led to the formation of the NCAA in 1906, this award is given to a person who, by personal example and contributions to society, exemplifies the ideals to which collegiate athletics programs and amateur sports competition are dedicated. The 2022 Theodore Roosevelt Award is presented to Gail Coziera Boudreau. Gail graduated with honors from Dartmouth in 1982, with majors in psychology and sociology. A four-time first-team All-Ivy League selection and three-time Ivy League Player of the Year in basketball, she became Dartmouth's all-time leading scorer and rebounder and still holds 17 other Dartmouth records. She also competed in track and field, winning 4 Ivy League shot put championships and 1 discus title. Gail earned an MBA with distinction from Columbia Business School. Her career has included executive positions with United Healthcare, Healthcare Services Corporation, and Illinois Blue Cross Blue Shield. She is currently the Chief Executive Officer and President of Anthem Incorporated, a Fortune 50 company and leading healthcare benefits provider. Fortune and Forbes have repeatedly recognized Gail as one of the world's most powerful women. She is also a member of the New England Basketball Hall of Fame and was a recipient of the NCAA Silver Anniversary Award and Billie Jean King Leadership Award. Let's meet Gail Kuziera-Boudreau.
I started playing sports with my brother. We didn't really have organized sports at the time, and I had an opportunity to watch him and his friends. And I didn't start playing basketball until I was in the 7th grade, so I was kind of late. You know, I was tall, so everyone's like, wow, you should play basketball. And I had not played basketball. My brother actually hadn't played basketball. He started, so we put up a basketball hoop in the backyard on the driveway and started playing. And then I played in this same group, this Catholic youth group that played in town, and I played for St. Mary's, and I had an opportunity to play. I was awful, absolutely awful. My first year, I had no idea what to do, and I was playing with other girls who'd started playing when they were 4, 5, and 6. So it was a learning experience, but I knew I wanted to get better at it. I think you have to think about, the late 70s. Women's sports were growing. It was the beginning of Title IX, but it wasn't the focus. It wasn't anything like we see today. So I wanted to go to a great place for academics and one where I could continue to enjoy sports and grow, but be in a competitive environment. And that's how I ended up picking Dartmouth.
Gail came here in 1978 with several recruits, very highly regarded recruits, and they came in here and they took the place by storm. Because they loved the game of basketball, they knew how to play, and they would not be denied. You see someone like Gail and you're a coach, you're like, yep, this is gonna be fun.
We started to win our freshman year and we started to build great bonds, and I think we saw for the first time the potential we had, and we became closer because of that.
Gail and her teammates set the tone that lasted through those years. They just got up and went and got it. And that's why Dartmouth has 17 banners up there.
It was about how we came together to achieve something bigger than ourselves. And it was an incredible learning experience. I look back at that now as some of the most formative experiences that I had.
I read about Gail in the newspaper on Sundays with my family for 4 years. And she was the most famous athlete in Massachusetts at the time. And I saw her at a track meet and I was stunned. Just thought she was the most beautiful woman I'd ever seen.
I met my husband 43 years ago in high school as a senior, and we've been together married for 32 years. So it's been, I guess my best way to think about this is an incredible journey. I have 2 boys. They're now grown. Both boys played sports. Sports has been foundational. It really has helped form me as the person I am because I learned so much from those early lessons and being on teams and fighting through adversity and being competitive.
There's something about leaders that give others confidence and make them better, and I love that about Gail. Her sports background is really helpful. It teaches you to be resilient, to bounce back. Also, I think it teaches you about diversity, and it teaches you that everyone deserves to be represented.
She wants everybody to have a fair shot, and her whole life has been driven by that fairness. Don't misunderstand that point. She absolutely expects excellence from all the people that work with her because she demands that of herself. And so it's normal for her to demand that of the people that she works with. That's why she is where she is today.
When I came to Anthem, it was about impact and what we could do and how our purpose and what we do, we could do it better. And I think to me, success is have we achieved those goals?
One of the huge strengths of Gail is her ability to get the best out of people and to have people who want to follow her. And in leading, she is carrying this large organization with her to a different future.
My advice to all women is you have responsibility both for yourself and to be a mentor for others because the next generation of young girls coming up needs mentors. Many people see in my office and in our office, we have quotes everywhere because quotes to me are inspiring about people who've come before us, who give us insight all the time. And I really think about that, but share the one that's right outside my office, which is the Billie Jean King quote about pressure is a privilege. That goes hand in hand with success. We're so privileged to be under pressure and really changing healthcare for people. And that's what gets me excited. It gets me up every day, and it gets me to really want to do something that's so impactful for the communities we live in and our associates.
It's not really about those banners up there. It's about leaving it better for the next generation. She has done that. She has left every place she's ever been better for the people that come behind her, and more opportunity for people that normally don't get opportunity.
It's not just being a winner on a team and winning a lot of championships. It's not just being a CEO. Well, that sounds terrible because that's unbelievable. But I just think it's about being a champion every single day in life. And I think that's what Gail is. That's what I really admire in her, is that she makes others better. She inspires us. She inspires me.
I tell people all the time, she's the perfect person to be the CEO of a healthcare company. Empathy, compassion, caring. It's her.
If I could turn the clock back and go back, I would go back in a second. I think playing basketball, being part of a team, winning Ivy championships, traveling to other schools. I've had other amazing experiences, but I look back on it. Many of those individuals are some of my closest friends, and we really enjoy each other beyond our time on the basketball court. They're lifelong friendships.
Please join me in welcoming Dartmouth University President Philip Hanlon and Gail Coziera Boudreau.
Well, first, thank you, President Shirley, and wow, what an inspirational evening. My congratulations first. Let me begin by congratulating all of tonight's honorees and extending my gratitude and heartfelt thank you to Mark Emmert and the NCAA Honors Committee. The stories tonight were unbelievable, and they give me so much hope about the future and why athletics is so powerful in all of our lives. I am so honored to receive the Theodore Roosevelt Award and humbled to be mentioned among business leaders, public servants, trailblazers that have been honored before me. I'm inspired every day by the outstanding accomplishments and the impact and legacies of those past recipients. They've embodied the ideals to which college athletics is all about. I'm also grateful to celebrate this award with my family, friends, and colleagues who've been such an incredible inspiration for me. They've also been an incredible influence and have really helped define me and grow as a person. First, my husband, Terry, our sons, Christopher and Evan, they support me every day, and they are my foundation. None of what I do is possible without their love and support. My former coach, Chris Welgus, she's a great friend. She's been a role model for me and for so many young women and continues to be that. My teammates from Dartmouth and my dear friends who've traveled so far to celebrate with me, your support means the world to me. And to my Anthem colleagues and Liz Tallett, Chairwoman of the Anthem Board of Directors, thank you for your advice, your wisdom, and your commitment to helping me be the best leader that I can be as we try to fulfill our commitment and improve and live our purpose of improving the health of humanity. As you saw in the video, Dartmouth helped me grow as a person, shaped who I am as a leader, and remains an incredibly important part of my life. I'd like to thank Dartmouth Athletics and Dartmouth President Phil Hanlon for being here tonight, and a special thank you to Phil for giving me this award. It means so much to me to connect those incredibly important years with this great honor. As I stand here this evening, I think back to my parents setting up that basketball hoop in our driveway and the impact that simple gesture had on my life. The values that my parents instilled in me, along with my education, my support from my family and my friends, and the lessons that I learned in sports, are the foundation of who I am. Where I am today, they are really the rock. More than the fond memories, though, of championship seasons, trophies, banners, sports have provided me with lessons and experiences that have fueled my career for 40 years and can continue to drive and inspire me as a leader today. The power of teams and teamwork, the magic of people working together in sync and in harmony toward a shared goal, achieving something meaningful together that could never have been done alone. The importance of resilience, learning from your mistakes, overcoming obstacles, navigating the unexpected and the unknown, not taking failure as fatal, but as an opportunity to learn and do more. And finally, the value of hard work, setting goals and building skills and knowledge to achieve them. It's this foundation and set of experiences that has guided my thinking, my actions, and my behavior in sports, in my personal life, and my professional career. I reflect on these core lessons every day at Anthem, where I'm honored to lead a talented group of 90,000 associates who are all working together to make a difference in the lives that we are so privileged to serve. My friend Billie Jean King may have said it best. Sports teaches you character. It teaches you to play by the rules. It teaches you to know what it feels like to win or lose. It teaches you about life. It's been an amazing journey, and I'm grateful for the opportunities I've been given and the people who've taught me and encouraged me along the way. I am truly blessed to have great colleagues, dear friends, and a loving family. Thank you for this incredible honor, and thank you for being here.
Congratulations, Gail. One more time, like all of our 2022 honorees, to please stand one more time for a round of applause. If you can, please stay seated as the honorees make their exit, and we salute all of our deserving 22 honorees for their accomplishments, for being shining examples to us all. I'm going to point again to our SAC group over there, the student athletes. Big shoes to fill, but you can do it. Tremendous honorees that we had on this night, previous years, last year virtual, this year in person, hopefully larger crowd next year. Big thank you to everyone behind the scenes with the NCAA, putting on this production. Little shill here, 3 o'clock Eastern Time every Friday, our NCAA social series led by our outstanding team, Dana Thomas and Cam Shue. We have interviewed people like all of you, amplifying your incredible careers and the change that you are doing, not just at this convention, but in and around your communities. As I said, you can learn more about their stories by visiting ncaa.org. We're going to use the doors behind you as we exit, but first, I want to have our honorees exit so that we give them one last round of applause as they exit. And on behalf of the NCAA, I thank you for joining this year's honors celebration. We look forward to seeing all of you in person next year at the convention in San Antonio along the Riverwalk. Stay well. Test negative, be positive. Thank you and good night.